Welcome back to another episode of MC's Garage. So I've missed a lot. I haven't really been recording very much. I've been just kind of working on the truck. But yeah, I mean, nothing too much up here. Mostly stuff underneath, which don't mind all the shit under here. And holy shit, that trans mount twisted. So anyways, got the truck running, got the torque converter hooked up, the trans hooked up, rear drive shaft in, and I tried to move it the other night. Well, the computer was telling us to do all kinds of funky stuff because it don't have a map sensor, it don't have O2 sensors, don't have none of that. So the computer's at the tune guy to get it retuned, so maybe it'll actually run right. But yeah, today I'm just going to work on getting this line ran back to the fuel cell so it'll actually return and act as a normal fuel system. But yeah, right now I just got to get this yanked off of there and then put my little coupling in and run it along the frame and up through the bed and get it all hooked up. So I'm not gonna be able to really record doing that, which it is what it is, but I'll keep you updated along the way as usual. Okay, so we're in the bed of the truck now by the fuel pump and regulator. I got the hose ran back, and then this one runs right to there. It'll go to that bung. But yeah, for now I'm just getting the lines ran. This is pretty much all temporary. I'm trying to make the return line as real as it needs to be, but like this needs shortened, which I'm going to pull that off, and then the fuel pump needs actually bolted to the bed, and the regulator's got some leaks that need to be addressed, and then the main feed line needs cut down. There's still a lot of work to be done yet, but for now I'm just putting the hose clamps on, which is really hard to do one-handed. There we go. Now I got both my hose clamps on my coupler, and then I'd like to keep these P clamps for whenever this is all actually like bolted together and whatnot. But as of right now, I'm gonna pull the lines off of the pump. I can't wait till this thing moves and I can find somewhere to put all this shit in the bed. But of course it's going to loosen the fitting too, because it wouldn't make any sense if it didn't. Got it. Oh, that looks scrumptious. I wonder if it's sucking that much freaking dirt out of the tank. Need to put a filter in line. Really bad. I'd like to say before the first drive, but I might be lying, because I tried to do the first drive the other night without it. That didn't work. Maybe tighten it a little more. Got it. There's that hose, which is way too long for its own good. So now I can actually get a line made for that, because it looks terrible. Same thing with this one, it needs to be done a little better also. I have to go grab some zip ties. I'm going to zip tie these together. And then I'm going to run it underneath the pump and the regulator. yeah, getting a little bit of something done, I guess. Looks like it's either sweating or getting leaked on. It's sweating all right. I don't like that. I don't make junk out of this thing quick. Need to actually fire it up and run it. But yeah, guys, I mean, ain't really been doing much to her. Okay, now I gotta get a pair of side cuts, snip these off. That needs tightened up too. Oh my god. That doesn't even have a nut on the backside. Them two do. But yeah, once I get that cut, then get a piece of fuel line, which I found out with my radiator. It came with hoses and stuff like that. So maybe if I unbolt the one side of that regulator and put the far right bolt into that hole. No, it's still gonna be too long. Because I literally need a piece that is like that long. So I'll have to cut a piece and make it more for real. I have to either mark it and take it to work or try to get a cutoff wheel here. But yeah, I'm gonna grab the side cuts and snip that off. Just gonna snip those off. Remember, always snip your zip ties flush. You don't want to be that bastard that leaves them jagged. But yeah, now I can go over there and get that line hooked up and get it cut down to where I want it and all that good jazz. So if you've never made an AN line, hold that thought. So you know, if you've ever made AN line, then you definitely don't stick rubber hose in the AN fitting. But I think it'll be just fine for who it's for, aka me. So I'm gonna screw this down on and turn my 90 the way I want it to go. Stretch that out. I'm gonna cut it off where I want it. Anyways, cut it down to what I want, so I'm going to pull this back off, stick this piece over this, which it might not fit. Well, it fit, surprisingly. Stick that piece over that, and you take your other half. Let me stand you up a little bit. There you go. Then you take that other half and start threading it in there. I always screw it down to where I can get it with my hands, just for time's sake, I guess. And you hold on to one end with a wrench, and you get on with the other half, and then crank it together. was almost working. Just crank it down till the fittings flush with one another, and screw it on whatever you're putting it on. I still gotta make fuel cell mounts yet. But yeah, I'm just gonna tighten her on up. There we go. Now I have a return line. Should function just like it needs to. But yeah, then I'm gonna have to cut the feed line down, and then either move the regulator in the pump, which I might do, which I might just move the pump just to make that piece of hose work, and then drill another hole into the bed, because cutting AM's a lot more difficult than just cutting a piece of rubber hose. By far a lot more different. So another thing I got done, I got the serpentine belt on it. But yeah, there's still quite a few things I gotta do. Like, I gotta mount the radiator, get a fan, mount the fuse box the rest of the way, mount the computer. Need to get a 90-degree fitting for that, so I can lay that down, so I can turn the exhaust out the fender, drill a hole for the exhaust, put the hood, the fender, the door back on, get a vacuum piece to go from that line to that, so I have power brakes. Got to mount the shifter, wire up the fuel pump, which the last thing I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to wire up the fuel pump. That'll be the last thing I do. And then, hell, just for shits and giggles, I might put a line back on that and just run the pump, make sure the return's working how it's supposed to. And yeah, I gotta get some gauges for this thing, all kinds of stuff yet. But yeah, I'm gonna work on the wiring. I'm gonna put the phone down, because that's a lot harder to do than use a crescent wrench one-handed. But yeah, I will keep you updated whenever I get some more stuff done. So I got the fuel pump all wired up. It's wired up to the key on power, along with the computer off the old distributor. So I turn the key, the pump kicks on. I can hear the inline regulator doing its thing. Still dripping fuel like a sieve, you know. Got about a little under 60 pounds of fuel, 60 pounds of fuel pressure. So it's got fuel moving up here. So don't mind my ghetto ass rigging that I got going on. Move back here. Open the tank up, or open the cell up. Moving fuel back. So it's doing exactly what it's supposed to. Hell yeah, one step closer. I don't have a gas can following me around. As soon as I turn the key on, the pump will turn on. And I just smashed my finger so bad that I could have just screamed. I can't wait to get a bigger garage someday. But yeah, that works. Horn still works too. Well, Well, I think just terminal screwed up. But yeah, well, that'll be it for tonight. So thank you for watching, and if anyone actually watched this far, you should drop a comment to let me know you watched. But other than that, have a good night, everyone, and see you in the next one.